Hello and welcome to this session. We are going to discuss some essential concepts of Python through the next few sessions. In this session, we are going to learn about some of the basic data types in the Python programming language. You can also refer the downloadable notebook for this session. So let's create a new notebook for this. I'm going to rename this notebook as Python_data types. Let me give some heading to this. Let's start with the most basic data type, which are numbers. Let's enter an integer number in our cell, say 3, and run it. The interpreter will echo the same number as you can see. But officially, if you want to print anything, the actual way to do so is to enclose it within the print statement. So let's try that. We'll write print, open the brackets, and type the number that we want to display, and then close the bracket. This will print the number enclosed. Now let's make use of variable in order to store numbers. We'll do this in a new cell or a block. Again, let's start with an integer, say 8. So we can write a equals to 8, and in order to print it, we can write print a within brackets. Let's understand this cell. First, the statement a equal to 8. The variable a will get some space on our system memory, and this statement will assign the variable a with the value 8. Then the print statement will simply print the content of the variable a. Similarly, we can assign decimal numbers to variable. Decimal numbers are called float data type. So let's write b equal to 2.7. You can choose any decimal number you want, and let's print it. You can see that the number has been printed. As I mentioned, a is an integer type variable and b is a float type variable. We can confirm this using the inbuilt function known as type. You can check the data type of any variable like this. Simply write print and type of a within brackets, where a is the variable whose data type we need to know. So as you can see that a is int and b is float. These data types can hold positive as well as negative numbers. Now let's perform some arithmetic operation on our variables. Let's say we want to add a and b and print the result. We can do this by writing print a plus b. So you can see the result is 7.7. The plus symbol used here is an arithmetic operator. Now suppose you want to store this result in another variable. You can do this by writing c equal to a plus b, where c is the variable which will hold the result of summation. Printing c will also give the same result. These variable names can be selected as per your convenience. Also, kindly note that the variable names are case sensitive. Let's proceed further and see another example. We will assign the value -10 to a variable p and a value 7 to another variable q. Let's multiply both these variables and store the result in a variable called product by writing product equal to p asterisk symbol Q. Here the arithmetic operator is an asterisk that indicates multiplication operation. Let's print the result by writing print within bracket product. You can see that the result is minus 70. Similarly, there are some other basic arithmetic operations like subtraction, division, modulus. Modulus returns the remainder when first operand is divided by the second and the operator is a percentage sign. Refer to the cells and comments for more details and try this operation on your own. Remember that the operator precedence for computer system works differently. Therefore, in case you are using multiple operators within one statement, do not forget to enclose different operation within brackets as per your requirement. Python also supports complex number. A complex number is a number with real and imaginary components. For example, 8 plus 2j is a complex number where 8 is the real component and 2 multiplied by j, which is the imaginary component. So let's assign a complex number to a variable named comp by writing comp equal to 8 plus 2j. Now if you print the type of variable comp, you'll be able to see that it is of type complex. Arithmetic operations are also possible on complex number. So let's define another complex number with name comp1 and assign it value 2 plus 5j. So we'll perform subtraction and addition on comp and comp1 and print the result like this. Let's move forward to another type of data type, which is Boolean. There are two built-in Boolean values. One is true and another one is false. Note that T and F are capital in both the cases. Lower cases of T and F will not work since Python is a case sensitive language. Again, you can confirm the data type using the type method. Boolean data types are very useful for various concepts like loops, conditional statements and logical operation, which we will discuss later in detail. Now let's discuss another data type called string. A string is nothing but a sequence of characters. They are written by enclosing the sequence of character within single or double quotes. So let's define a string. We'll use the variable name str1. So str1 is equal to double quote Python like this. Now let's print str1 and its type. You can see that the enclosed characters have been printed and the type is str. As I already mentioned that strings are sequences of characters. Therefore, you can also access each characters one by one starting from the index 0 by mentioning the index within the square brackets. As we know that the 6 characters are there in the word Python, so our last index will be 5 as the index starts from 0. You can see that all the 6 characters have been printed individually. We can also join two string. Let's see with the help of an example. We'll declare another string str2 and we'll assign it with the sentence is easy. Now we'll join str1 and str2 using the plus operator and we'll assign it to another variable called str3. So let's write str3 equal to str1 plus str2 and print it. Note that we forgot to add the space character before the character I. So let's include the space character and run it again. So you can see that the new string has been printed which says Python is easy. Wasn't it easy? So let's proceed further. You can use the print statement in many ways, some of which are mentioned in the next cell along with their output. You can try them and use them as per your requirement and convenience. They are very useful throughout the Python programming. Now that we have basic knowledge about print statement, strings, boolean and other number data types, let's use this knowledge and perform some logical operation and print result in a meaningful manner. The three logical operators we are going to discuss are AND, OR and NOT. These are very useful for conditional statement and flow control, which will be covered in details in the next session. So let's discuss the first logical operator, which is logical AND. Logical AND gives a true output when all the operands are true. In order to see this, we are going to declare two variables, S1 and S2, and assign them value true and true. Now let's print S1 and S2. So you can see that the result is true. If you change the value of either of the variable to false, the output will be false. You can understand it by an example. Say S1 and S2 are two buttons in a machine. Only when the both buttons are pressed, the machine works. Even if one of the button is released, the machine will stop working. I hope you get the idea of this. You can also refer the truth table of AND gate for more clarity. Let's move to logical OR. In the case of logical OR, even if one of the button is pressed, the machine will work. Therefore, even one of the variable is true, the output of print S1 or S2 will be true. The output will be false only when both the variable are false. Again, you may refer the truth table of OR gate for more clarity. Let's move ahead to logical NOT. This is simple and used to negate or invert any boolean. Let's change the value of S1 to true and S2 to true. Let's write result equal to S1 and S2, then print result. You can see that the result is true. Now let's print NOT of result like this. So now you can see the result has been successfully inverted. You can understand it with an example that a machine has only one button. When the button is not pressed, the machine will work, and when it is pressed, the machine will stop. Another data type commonly used in Python is list. List is a collection of one or more items, and these items may or may not be of same data type. These items are comma separated and enclosed inside square brackets. Let's declare a list which contains names of different countries like India, Japan, Singapore, China, Australia. So let's name our variable list1 and create the list like this. Now print the list. As you can see that all the items have been printed. We can also access each element of the list separately as we did in case of string. Again, the index starts from 0. Let's print the item present at the second index by mentioning the index in square bracket. So you can see that the Singapore has been printed. You can also try out example like nested list where another list is there inside a list, and an example where all the elements of the list are of different data types. We can also create a new list by using just a section of our previous list by slicing it. For example, we can create a list named list2 which contain second and third element of list1. We can do it like this: 2:4. If you want the list 3 to be second element till the last element of list 1, we can simply write square bracket 2 colon. We can also reverse the list by mentioning 2 colons and a -1. So this is a very good trick. We'll use this technique in ML as well as computer vision regularly. We can remove items from list using the method called remove and mentioning the item as a parameter like this. So you can see China has been removed from the list. Or you can alternatively also use the pop method and mention the index number as the parameter of pop. If no parameter is given to pop, it will remove the last element of the list. You can also add element at the end of list using the append method and by mentioning the element in the parameter. Alternatively, you can insert an element at a specific index by using the insert method and providing the first parameter as index and the second parameter as item. Another data type known as tuple. It is similar to a list except the difference that lists are mutable and tuple are immutable. Tuples are declared by enclosing parameters within parentheses like this. Now let's see the dictionary data type. Dictionary is also a collection data type and it contains key value pairs. One or more key value pairs separated by comma are put inside curly brackets to form a dictionary object. Let's define a dictionary as D1 where first key is banana and value is yellow. The second key is apple and the value is red. We can use the key to find the corresponding value of the key. The last data type we are going to discuss in this session are sets. A set is a collection of data types in Python. A set object contains one or more items, not necessarily of the same type, which are separated by comma and enclosed in curly brackets. A set doesn't store duplicate objects. Even if an object is added more than once inside the curly brackets, only one copy is held in the set object. As you can also see in this cell that only one copy of the number 2 is held by the set S2. Hence, indexing and slicing operation cannot be done on a set object. Different set operation like union, intersection, etc. are supported by Python. So that's all for this session. I hope that you have understood the concept explained through this session. See you in the next one. Thank you.